Good morning, this is Raven, and this is your reading for today. It has been about a week or more since I've done these daily readings. I don't think it's any coincidence that in the time between these two eclipses, I've been completely incapable of articulating the spirit. In lots of ways, yes, but in these video ways, no. It's just the cat has had my tongue. I've shown up and nothing has come out. So this is the day of the last eclipse, and the full moon was yesterday, and I'm going to do my best to be of service today with this, and we'll just see what happens from here forward. I definitely gonna keep showing up. There it goes, the cat. So without further ado, let's see what's going on here. So a word about eclipses, a word about this time. Eclipses simply accelerate whatever transition was already happening, whatever movement, current of transformation was already happening. And since we're talking about the full moon in Cancer right now, we are having some emotional transformations, and some of that juicy, sweet, soft meat on the inside is being tilled. I actually have been getting this image often of a field being tilled, and that's what an eclipse does, that in order to prepare for a planting of seeds, you turn up the earth, and as you do that, all of the little stones and old skeletons come up, and that is part of the whole process of maintaining a fruitful earth. Nature does that in its own ways, and in the human way, we till the soil. So we've been being tilled, and that's very much reflected in this reading. I think I'm going to go first with the sacrifice. That's very much in line. This is from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and the sacrifice, the meaning of the word sacrifice is to make sacred. So this is an offering, something that is made sacred by releasing it. And oh my Jesus, ain't that exactly what full moons do? And ain't that exactly what eclipses do? And ain't that exactly what's been happening? There's been a lot of loss happening for a lot of people. And this is all sacrifice being... just sort of like this cycle of change creates the opportunity for sacrifice. So this is when we sort of participate in that natural process of growth. And we do that by making it sacred, by having a hand in offering up that which no longer serves us. So this is what's being called for today. You know, what I asked was what's being called for the collective, and this is it. You know, to kind of find what it is that is ready to be released. I love how she's sort of releasing from her hand, almost like a butterfly. And to put some gratitude and love into it. You know, an offering is a sign of respect and gratitude toward whatever, the sacred, the process, anything. So, man, that's at the top, I gotta say. And then we have the cat, le chat. This is from the Oracle of Avalon, and in it there are some animal guides. And the guide that came up for us is the cat. Here we have a little house cat, and I think this also encompasses all the cats, the big cats. I've been working with a lion energy a lot lately through my crystal work, and So yeah, I'm just really feeling this. The rhythm of the spirit of the cat is very different from human rhythm, but maybe not as different as, and maybe it hasn't always been that different. Modern rhythm is pretty relentless. Our daily to-dos are pretty, they go by the modern clock, and cats sleep, I don't remember, like 18 hours a day or something, or 20 hours a day if they're big. The more powerful they are, the more they sleep. They just restore and store energy in order to have this release of productivity, in other words, killing. This release of hunting energy, of hungriness, right? I mean, do you wonder, like, are they hungry the whole time that they're sleeping and then they just go get it? It's very interesting. Anyway, it feels really aligned with this sacrifice card, with this release card, and also aligned with the eclipse energy. So there's a council around the eclipse that says that the less you effort into it, the better. The easier this will be. It's a little bit like Saturn in that way, and there is a lot of movement in Saturn and astrologically right now. The better you will find it, that the way to be in step with the cosmic energies of eclipses and Saturn is to allow for some receptivity to happen, and that's that rest. That's that kind of being with the process as it's taking place, rather than trying to direct it. And I think that's exactly why you haven't seen me for a week. So yeah, there is some bravery that needs to happen there. And in other words, some not giving a shit that needs to happen there with the cat energy. Cats are pretty take it or leave it when it comes to the opinions of others. So they really own their own stories and their own cycles apart from humanity. Yeah. Okay, so then we have the king of earth, the consciousness of earth, the airy part of earth. You know, the king of earth is really effective. You know, this is when consciousness meets the material world. So if this was a person, it would be someone who was very productive, who plans well, who leads through action, who, I don't know, is also very embodied and able to, I don't know, I think I'm losing my thing here, but yeah, the consciousness of earth is sort of staying mindful in the material world. The king of earth would never not know where his finances are, what they're doing. So there's this kind of like this skill, a skillfulness here that's being called forth. I kind of feel like this is what's happening. Like this is the eclipse energy, and this is what's being called forth out of it. So that's the king of earth right now. That's being the master of your circumstance. That's bringing some diligence and mindfulness and capacity for judgment. Air is judgment into your material circumstances, and that's what's coming forth. So I freaking welcome that. I never know what my finances are doing, as often as I've tried to figure it out. So yeah, there's some personal power coming out in terms of that. And then we have the Eight of Water, the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is a stepping away from a circumstance that has been familiar and possibly serving you, but there's a call to go deeper. And it's kind of taking the first step into a transition. There's a little bit of a Fool energy in here, the Fool card of the Major Arcana. So the Eight of Cups is asking us to take those first steps, kind of. In the traditional, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, he's not going out into the water as he is here, but sort of out into a lunar scape. So that's the unconscious and the not understanding and the shadow world, and just that which is leading us deeper. In this one, the person is looking out onto a voyage, basically, over water. Very similar, but I think also more of this earth. And yeah, that's what I'm feeling for this, that we're being called through this eclipse to take the first steps away from the familiar in some very particular way. Yeah, leaving that behind, especially emotionally. There's a lot of emotional release happening, which would also be in the energy of cat being guided by the Leshat. So they're very good at having some emotional boundaries in that sense, and holding that sort of non-attachment when it comes to emotional, and when it comes to love, really, the things that you love, the people that you love. So time to do those first steps of stepping away. This is, and you know, the thing in eclipses again, which we're learning with the sacrifice in the cat, is that it's not necessarily a willful action that needs to happen. It's more like an opening of the hand, and staying with your emotional boundaries in the right places. And then this is what's being called forth. So be open to receiving rather than forcing yourself to make a decision. Eclipses are not the time to make decisions. They're the time to receive a direction. So listen for this, stepping out, and listen for this, coming into this power of consciousness in the material realm in some way, and abundance. By definition, the king of earth is an abundant mofo. He is definitely surrounded by prosperity. So yes, ma'am, more of that. Well, this is it. This is my first day back between the eclipses, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I am fully intentioned to continue to show up and do this, so I hope you'll keep showing up as well. I welcome you to follow the links in my bio and in my banner, and find my website where I offer all this good stuff for you individually. Much love to everyone today, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, goodbye.